Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Dina English. I'm so happy you decided to spend part of your day with us. Whether you are drinking your morning coffee, traveling to work, relaxing at home, or taking a short walk, thank you for listening.
And I'm Tom. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Every episode is another chance to improve your English in a calm and natural way while talking about topics that are useful in everyday life.
Today, we have a topic that many people know is important, but not everyone enjoys doing.
That's true. We are going to talk about morning routines and how small habits in the morning can change the rest of your day.
This conversation is designed for English learners around the B1 to B2 level, so we'll speak naturally, but we'll also keep our sentences clear and easy to follow.
Remember, you don't need to understand every single word. Focus on the main ideas. The more you listen, the more comfortable English will become.
Before we begin, we'd like to ask you a simple question.
Think about your own mornings. How do you usually spend the first 30 minutes after you wake up?
There is no right or wrong answer. Maybe your mornings are calm, or maybe they feel rushed and stressful.
Some people wake up early and enjoy quiet time before everyone else gets up.
Others wake up just in time to get dressed, grab something to eat, and leave the house as quickly as possible.
Many of us have experienced both kinds of mornings.
I certainly have. Some mornings I feel organized and ready for the day, and other mornings I wonder where all my time disappeared.
I think everyone can relate to that. Sometimes it feels like the alarm rings only a few minutes after we fall asleep.
Exactly. You look at the clock and suddenly you're already late.
Then everything feels faster than usual. You hurry through breakfast, forget something important, and spend the rest of the morning trying to catch up.
That is why today's topic matters. We often believe that a good day begins with something big, but in reality, it usually begins with something very small.
Small habits may not seem exciting, but they can have a surprisingly powerful effect over time.
Before we share our own experiences, let's first talk about what we mean by a morning routine.
A morning routine is simply a group of actions that you do regularly after waking up.
Those actions don't have to be complicated.
In fact, simple routines are often easier to keep.
For example, someone might wake up, drink a glass of water, open the window, stretch for a few minutes, and then have breakfast.
Another person might enjoy reading a few pages of a book before checking messages on their phone.
Someone else may spend 10 minutes practicing English every morning.
That's one of our favorite examples, of course.
Naturally.
Naturally. The important thing isn't copying someone else's routine.
It's creating a routine that fits your own life.
Many people see videos online where successful people wake up at 5 o'clock, exercise for an hour, meditate, write in a journal, prepare a healthy breakfast, and answer emails before sunrise.
Those videos can be interesting, but they can also make us feel that our own mornings are not good enough.
Exactly. Then we try to copy everything at once.
We follow the routine for 2 or 3 days.
And by the fourth day, we're exhausted. Then we think we failed.
But maybe the problem wasn't our motivation. Maybe the routine simply wasn't realistic for our lifestyle.
That's a very important point.
A useful morning routine should support your life, not make it more stressful.
It should give you energy instead of taking it away.
Tom, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Have you always been a morning person?
Honestly, no.
Really? I thought you would say yes immediately.
Not at all.
What changed?
My schedule changed. I started working earlier and I realized that staying up until midnight was making every morning difficult.
Did changing your routine happen quickly?
No, it happened little by little.
What was the first habit you changed?
Surprisingly, I didn't start by waking up earlier.
That's interesting.
I started by going to bed 15 minutes earlier every week.
That sounds much more manageable than changing everything in one day.
Exactly. My body had time to adjust naturally.
Did you notice any difference?
Yes, after a few weeks, I wasn't pressing the snooze button nearly as often.
I think many listeners know that snooze button very well.
It feels wonderful for 5 minutes.
And then somehow those 5 minutes become 20.
Somehow they always do.
I used to believe that sleeping 5 extra minutes would make me feel much more rested.
Did it work?
Not really. I usually felt even sleepier after waking up again.
I had the same experience.
Eventually, I decided to place my phone on the other side of the room.
So you had to stand up to turn off the alarm.
Exactly.
That's actually very clever.
At first, I didn't like it.
I can imagine.
But once I was standing, it became much easier to stay awake.
Sometimes solving a problem doesn't require more motivation. It simply requires changing your environment.
That's an idea we'll return to many times today.
Because our surroundings often influence our behavior more than we realize.
Another thing I've learned is that the first few minutes of the morning can affect my mood for several hours.
I agree completely.
If I begin the day by rushing and worrying, I often carry that feeling with me.
But if I begin calmly, even for just 10 minutes, I usually stay calmer during the rest of the day.
It's amazing that such a small amount of time can make such a noticeable difference.
That's why we shouldn't underestimate simple daily habits.
They may seem ordinary, but ordinary actions repeated consistently often create extraordinary results.
And that idea doesn't only apply to morning routines.
It also applies to learning English.
5 or 10 minutes focused every morning may seem small today, but after many months, those minutes become hours of valuable practice.
I think that's something many English learners forget. They often believe they need one free hour every day to improve.
But in reality, consistency is usually more important than long study sessions.
Exactly. 10 focused minutes every morning can be more effective than 2 hours once a month.
Especially because your brain enjoys regular practice.
And mornings can be a wonderful time for that practice because your mind is often fresh.
Of course, everyone is different. Some people concentrate better later in the day.
That's true, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The important thing is finding a time that you can repeat consistently.
Today we're talking about mornings because they often give us a feeling of control before the day becomes busy.
Once work, school, messages, meetings, and responsibilities begin, it becomes much harder to find quiet time.
That's why many people choose to do one meaningful activity before the world starts asking for their attention.
Dina, can I ask you another question?
Of course.
What does your ideal morning look like?
My ideal morning is actually very simple.
Really? I expected something much more detailed.
No, simplicity makes it easier to repeat.
So what happens first?
First, I avoid looking at my phone immediately after waking up.
Was that difficult at the beginning?
Very difficult.
I think many listeners understand that feeling.
My phone was always beside my bed.
Mine too.
The first thing I saw every morning was a screen full of notifications.
Emails, messages, news, social media.
Exactly. Before I even stood up, my brain was already full of information.
That sounds exhausting.
It really was.
So what changed?
I decided to give myself 15 minutes before checking anything online.
Just 15 minutes?
Yes, it felt realistic.
What did you do during those 15 minutes?
I opened the curtains, drank some water, stretched my body, and simply enjoyed the quiet.
That sounds peaceful.
It surprised me how much calmer I felt.
Sometimes we don't realize how noisy our minds become until we experience a few quiet moments.
Exactly.
I had a similar experience with breakfast.
Really?
For years, I ate breakfast while looking at my phone.
Multitasking.
Yes, or at least I thought I was multitasking.
Were you actually paying attention to either one?
Honestly, not really.
I know that feeling.
One day, I decided to leave my phone in another room while eating.
How did that feel?
Strange for the first few days.
Because you were so used to it?
Exactly.
And after that?
I actually noticed the taste of my food more.
That's funny.
I also finished breakfast feeling more relaxed instead of feeling like I had already been working for 30 minutes.
That's a wonderful example of how small changes influence our mood.
They really do.
Let's talk about another habit that many people want to build.
Exercising?
Yes,
That topic usually makes people smile nervously.
it certainly does.
Many people think exercise means going to the gym for an hour.
But movement doesn't have to be complicated.
Walking for 10 minutes is movement.
Stretching is movement.
Climbing stairs instead of using the elevator is movement.
Dancing to your favorite song while getting ready is movement too.
That sounds much more enjoyable.
The goal isn't perfection.
The goal is simply helping your body wake up.
I think many people stop because they create routines that are too difficult.
Then missing one day feels like failure.
Exactly.
But missing one day isn't failure.
It's simply part of being human.
What matters is returning the next day.
That's an important lesson not only for healthy habits, but also for learning English.
Absolutely.
Imagine you planned to practice English every morning.
Then one morning, you oversleep.
Many people immediately think, well, I ruined my routine.
Then they stop completely.
But wouldn't it be better to simply practice the following morning?
Definitely.
One missed day doesn't erase weeks of progress.
We often judge ourselves much more harshly than we would judge a friend.
That's very true.
If your friend missed one English lesson, you probably wouldn't say, give up.
Of course not.
You would probably say, just continue tomorrow.
So maybe we should speak to ourselves the same way.
With a little more patience.
And a little more kindness.
Another thing I've noticed is that people often wait until they feel motivated.
Motivation is wonderful when it's there.
But it's not always reliable.
Some mornings you wake up feeling energetic.
Other mornings you'd rather stay under the blanket for another hour.
Exactly.
If we only act when motivation appears, our routines become unpredictable.
That's why habits are so valuable.
Habits allow us to continue even when motivation is quiet.
I like thinking of habits as friendly reminders.
They gently tell us what comes next.
Wake up,
Drink some water,
open the window,
practice English for 10 minutes,
eat breakfast.
start the day.
Each step is small by itself.
But together they create a calm beginning.
I'd also like to talk about something many listeners experience.
What's that?
Feeling guilty when they don't have a perfect morning.
That's a common feeling.
Sometimes life is unpredictable.
Children become sick,
Buses arrive late.
work schedules change.
Unexpected problems happen.
A flexible routine is often stronger than a perfect routine.
That's because it can survive real life.
Instead of saying, I failed, we can ask, what's the smallest healthy choice I can make right now?
Maybe today you don't have time for 20 minutes of English practice.
But perhaps you have 5.
Maybe you can't exercise today.
But you can still stretch for 2 minutes.
Small actions may look unimportant.
Yet over weeks and months, they quietly become part of who we are.
That's why I believe morning routines are less about discipline and more about taking care of yourself.
When you begin your day with even one intentional habit, you're sending yourself a simple message.
You're saying, today matters, and I matter too.
And I think that's one of the most valuable habits anyone can build.
We've talked about building simple habits, protecting our mornings, and being kind to ourselves when life doesn't go according to plan.
Now let's spend a few minutes reviewing some useful English vocabulary from today's conversation.
Great idea. Learning new words is much easier when you hear them in a real conversation.
Let's begin with the word routine.
A routine is something you do regularly, often in the same order.
For example, reading for 10 minutes every morning is part of my routine.
Another useful word is consistent.
Consistent means doing something regularly over a long period of time.
You don't have to be perfect to be consistent.
Exactly. If you practice English most days, you are being consistent.
Our next word is habit.
A habit is something you do almost automatically because you've done it many times before.
Brushing your teeth is a habit.
Drinking water after waking up can become a habit too.
Another important word is focus.
Focus means giving your full attention to one thing.
For example, I turn off my phone so I can focus on studying.
We also use the word distraction.
A distraction is something that pulls your attention away from what you're trying to do.
Social media can be a distraction when you're trying to learn English.
Another useful expression is small steps.
We often hear people say, success comes from small steps.
That means big achievements usually begin with simple daily actions.
We also mention the word manage.
To manage something means to handle it successfully.
For example, I manage my mornings better when I prepare the night before.
That's another excellent idea we haven't discussed much yet. Preparing the evening before can make mornings much easier.
For example, choosing your clothes before going to bed.
Preparing your bag for work or school.
Filling your water bottle.
Even deciding what you'll eat for breakfast.
Those small decisions save both time and energy the next morning.
Our brains make thousands of decisions every day, so reducing just a few of them can make mornings feel much calmer.
Dina, if you could give our listeners only one piece of advice about mornings, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Take your time.
I think I would say this: don't try to change everything at once.
I completely agree.
Choose one habit.
Just one.
Practice it until it feels natural.
Then, if you want, add another one.
People often become excited and write a list of 20 new habits.
Wake up at 5.
Exercise.
Read a book.
Study English.
Write in a journal.
Eat a perfect breakfast.
Meditate.
Clean the house.
By the end of the list, you're already tired.
Exactly.
A routine should help your life, not make you feel overwhelmed.
Another thing I'd like listeners to remember is that every morning is a new beginning.
Yesterday doesn't control today.
If yesterday wasn't productive, today is another opportunity.
You don't need to wait until next Monday.
Or next month.
Or next year.
The next morning is enough.
That's a very encouraging way to think.
Tom, before we finish, what has been the biggest lesson you've learned from creating your own morning routine?
I think it's realizing that success isn't built in one exciting moment.
It's built quietly.
One ordinary morning after another.
I love that idea.
We often admire successful people because we see the results.
But we don't always see the small habits behind those results.
The early mornings.
The repeated practice.
The simple decisions.
The days when they continued even without feeling motivated.
Those quiet moments are usually where real progress begins.
And that's true whether you're learning English, improving your health, saving money, or developing any new skill.
Big goals are reached through small daily actions.
Before we say goodbye, we'd like to leave you with one final question.
Think about tomorrow morning.
What is one simple habit you could add that would make your day just a little better?
Maybe it's drinking a glass of water.
Maybe it's spending 10 minutes listening to English.
Maybe it's waking up 10 minutes earlier.
Or maybe it's simply taking one deep breath before checking your phone.
Whatever you choose, make it realistic.
Make it simple.
And give yourself time to grow.
Progress doesn't have to be fast.
It just needs to continue.
We'd also love to hear from you.
Tell us in the comments, I'm your name from your country, and my new morning habit will be...
It's a wonderful way to practice your English while sharing your ideas with learners from around the world.
We always enjoy reading your comments because every story is different.
Some of you are students.
Some are parents.
Some are busy professionals.
And many of you are learning English while balancing work, family, and many responsibilities.
No matter where you are on your journey, remember that every small step counts.
Don't compare your progress with someone else's.
Compare today's version of yourself with yesterday's.
If you've learned one new word today,
if you've understood one new sentence,
or if you've simply enjoyed listening in English a little more than before,
then today has been a successful day.
Thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us.
We truly appreciate your time, your effort, and your commitment to improving your English.
Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, enjoy your mornings, and we'll see you in the next episode of Miss Dina English.